One narrow waterway controls a huge part of the world's oil. If it closes, global markets could face a total panic. Imagine the global economy hanging by a thread, held in place by a single maritime passage, just 21 miles wide. Today, we explore the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most critical choke point, and how a conflict here could ignite a financial wildfire. To understand the stakes, we must look at the map. This thin strip of water separates the Persian Gulf from the Gulf of Oman. On one side sits Iran, on the other Oman and the UAE. It is the only gateway for oil-rich nations like Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. Every single day, nearly 21 million barrels of oil flow through here. That is roughly 20% of the world's total liquid petroleum consumption. The world is deeply dependent on this flow. Giant tankers move non-stop, heading toward the energy-hungry markets of China, Japan, India, and South Korea. For these nations, any interruption is not just a logistical headache, it is a threat to their national survival and industrial output. But the strait is more than a trade route. It is a geopolitical flashpoint. Tensions between regional powers and global navies have simmered for decades. Military exercises, seized tankers, and drone surveillance are common. The presence of submarines and patrol boats keeps the entire region on high alert. If a conflict were to break out and the strait were blocked, the reaction in the global financial markets would be instantaneous and violent. Stock charts in New York and London would plummet as investors rushed to dump risky assets. The VIX, or Fear Index, would likely skyrocket. In times of such extreme uncertainty, capital flees to safety. Gold prices would surge as the world seeks a hedge against economic collapse. The shock would soon reach your local neighborhood. Oil price spikes lead directly to higher transportation costs for everything from food to electronics. This is the inflation tax. When energy costs rise, the cost of living follows, hitting the most vulnerable populations the hardest across the globe. World leaders would scramble to react. Strategic oil reserves would be opened, and intense diplomatic pressure would be applied to restore the passage. Alternative pipelines exist, but they are limited. They cannot replace the sheer volume that flows through the strait. There is no easy backup plan. The world remains in a fragile balance. A few miles of water dictate the economic fate of billions of people every single day. In today's interconnected world, one narrow waterway has the power to shake the entire global economy. It is a reminder of our shared vulnerability